Hey there, Rim here. In Battlefield 6, there are 4 classes, each with a few different roles to play. The focus of this video will be on the support class, as is what got me into the game. If you want to see more of this type of video for the other playstyles, make sure to subscribe and like so YouTube will know to bring you back when I upload those. All the classes are pretty unique with their roles and utility options, each having a unique set of gadgets to pick from, but all share the same gun options so you never have to play with a gun you don't like. This game is still pretty new, so to make sure everyone understands the game a bit better, I'll explain the basic concepts that all the classes use. Each class has a set of signature perks that they will always have. These perks are what define the playstyle each class has. Then there's the training perks. These change depending on the subclass and are unlocked slowly over the course of a match. And the final unique part of each class is the gadgets they get to pick from. Each class has different options that focus on their playstyle. These typically have some sort of limitation and can be anything from ammo to recharge time or just limited uses per life. Now that we have covered how the classes work, we can finally talk about how to play the hero. So how do you play like a hero? It's actually quite easy, as it boils down to focusing on reviving anyone who's down. You run from location to location and revive anyone who's down on the way or there. Then you go to the next location and maybe take down some enemies while you're on the way. For this playstyle, I recommend using the support class as it gives you the best overall options for both reviving and supporting the rest of your team. So what are subclasses? Well, they're how you change your trainable perks. The subclass you start with is the Combat Medic, and is also the best choice for this gameplay style, as its first perk is the most important one that we need, Urgent Aid. Drag down soldiers 20% faster and revive them 2.5 seconds quicker. This is good as it makes your base revive substantially better and becomes an actually useful option. Revive Recovery. Reviving down teammates triggers passive health regeneration. Incoming damage temporarily halts the effect for 1 second. This isn't a bad perk, but it also won't help you that much. It's nice for healing, and it's definitely not worth giving up, but it's nothing notable. Defense Focused. Defense gadgets have a plus 25% resupply rate. GPDIS intercepts 2 more projectiles. MP-APS tracking duration is extended by 5 seconds. Deployable cover takes 10% less damage. I'll go into this one later as it's a lot of stuff to cover. While I don't have the other subclass yet, I wouldn't use it. It's really good for turtling and isn't a bad choice by any means. But for the gameplay style we're going for, we can't really give up that faster revive and drag speed. For weapon choice, I personally go with the SGX Factory SMG. With a short barrel, stubby grip, base mag, fraggable bullets, and a red laser, and a 1.75 times sight. The pistol I use is a kitted out P18 Factory, but it's also the only one I have, and I barely use it. An important note is that you can use any gun. I just recommend using one that's fast and deals decent damage, like an SMG. But any gun does work. If you want to use an LMG or a sniper rifle, go ahead, and I'd love to see clips of that. Melee options are quite slim, and you can use whatever you want, but I personally think that the combat knife is the best option, as it makes you run faster than with the defibrillator, but you won't want to run to any patients with it out instead of the defib unless you're quite a distance away. The sledgehammer overall is worse, but it's significantly more funny to use. It slows you down quite a bit, but the finishers it has are way better than the knives. So while I'd still use the knife, feel free to use this option instead. I don't have the third option, so I can't really speak on it. The defibrillator is the main tool in clips that you'll see on TikTok, as it is a lot more flashy than the normal revives, but if you click it, it only heals to half health compared to the basic revive, which heals to full health. The basic revive is overall a better option, though the defibrillator is good enough to the point that you will never ever want it to be removed from your kit. An important note about the defibrillator is that if you fully charge it, it will fully revive a person to full health. The deployable cover is an incredibly useful tool both for reviving and turtle. If somebody's out in the open and you want to go revive them, you can drop it in front of them so you have cover to revive, or you can use it to make hiding spots. The defense focused perk makes the deployable cover take 10% less damage. meaning it'll last roughly 10% longer, which can help with the riskier revives. But the base health is still quite good, taking 1.5 magazines from my SMG to completely destroy it without the perk. The grenade intercept system is a great distraction, but a mediocre utility option. It's really good for turtling and distracting enemies, but grenades are rarely a threat with this playstyle as you're running around so much that you will almost never get hit by a grenade. It also can only intercept 3 grenades without the defense focus perk. The defense focused perk makes 2 more projectiles get intercepted. This helps, but doesn't really save this piece of utility from being mediocre. The supply bag is part of the support signature set, meaning you will always have it. The supply bag will refill ammo for guns and gadgets, increase nearby healing, and start recharging any gadgets that have limited uses like the grenade intercept system. There are quite a bit more utility options, but I'm not going to talk about them simply because I haven't unlocked them. Though they also seem really mediocre, but I haven't actually tried them, so do take that with a grain of salt. Grenades overall are both really useful and really bad for this playstyle. The frag grenade barely helps you, and the smoke grenade is such a vital part to this playstyle that without it, you will be unable to save a majority of the people you find. The frag grenade is very underwhelming. It only has 1 charge before needing your supply pack to recharge it, and is easily countered by walking away or just using the grenade intercept system. Overall, it's a bad choice, even for other playstyles, as its only use is to counter turtling, but even then, there are better options for it. Like I said before, the smoke grenade is such an important part to this playstyle that you can't go without it. It's one of your best options for saving soldiers that are out in the open, or if they're in a cramped area with enemies, or if they're just anywhere. It also helps you move past vehicles without dying, and it's overall one of your best options for pretty much any situation. For subclass, I recommend using the Combat Medic, as it's the one you start with and upgrades your basic revive quite substantially. That's not to say that the other subclass can't play like a hero. It can, but it takes some time and it's quite hard to unlock, and all that work would go to waste on this playstyle. And that's not saying that this subclass is bad by any means, it's just worse at being heroic. I should start this out with, pick any gun you want, they all work, but what I've found to work best is guns like SMGs or carbines, as they're great for up close fights and can handle medium distant fights whenever needed. So I'd recommend you'd pick one like that if you're still learning the game, but if you want a challenge or just want to pick a different gun, go ahead, as the weapon doesn't define this playstyle. To properly use the defibrillator, you will first want to pay attention to the situation. If there's a bunch of people down, tap the defibrillator on each of them. If there's one guy downed in no man's land, you would throw a smoke, then fully charge the defibrillator so they get revived at full HP. However, this does not mean you should always use the defibrillator, as the base revive allows you to drag the patient out of harm's way, which increases their chances of survival. You can also revive them while laying down, which is nice if you're reviving a sniper who lost a duel. It's also useful for minimizing your presence during your revive so that you're less likely to be shot. The deployable cover is a great piece of utility, allowing you to have some cover while reviving someone. Or, if you want a turtle, you can throw these up so you have cover in an otherwise open area. The supply pack is an incredibly versatile tool, as it starts healing you when you throw it, refills your ammo, and starts refilling any gadgets that were used. It can also be used to hide inside of while turtling, though this only works sometimes, and the more you do it in a match, the less likely it is to work. It's also very important to note that it's very fragile and breaks after a single hit. You may have noticed a pickup prompt showing up a few times. If you do pick up the pack, it gets removed from the world but increases the recharge speed. You should pretty much always be picking it up, as you will be using it constantly to refill you and your teammates' resources. And you also can only have one down at a time, so if you're turtling with teammates, you can leave the pack on the ground in the general area so your teammates are constantly getting refreshed resources. But other than that, you should always be picking it up. Your allies are some of the stupidest, useless, moronic, purposeless, impractical, impatient, ineffectual losers on the planet. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. And I should mention I don't actually mean most of them. I love my teammates. What I do mean is it feels like your team can never ever kill anyone, even if they're right in front of them. And it feels like no one will ever res you, specifically you. It doesn't matter if the coast is clear, very few people actually revive their teammates. And if you only get one thing from this video, please, please, please res your teammates. Now you have the knowledge of the why and the how. Here are some final tips for you. Don't save someone if you think you'll die too, because you're more important than they are. Pretend everything that can go wrong will go wrong, and always fight to save someone. Now, before I end this video, I have one last tip. Listen to some kick-ass music and go nuts. Also, the video won't be over for another 1 to 2 minutes, so keep watching. So, originally I was gonna have an edit before this card, but I decided that would be bad as I want to say some important things here. Firstly, I have a Patreon. If you want to support me and show up on this end card on the left, go there. Nothing there is finalized yet, and I'm still working on it, but it's there if you want to support me. Though I do not need your money. While I don't have a job, I'm not in a position where I need money. Do not feel like you need to donate anything to me. But if you do, there are options ranging from $1 to $30 if you want to go crazy. Also, this was my first ever video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I plan on making some more Battlefield 6 videos, but I do plan on moving on, so let me know what you'd like to see me make a video on next. I'm currently working on a Hades 2 video, but that won't see the light of day for a hot minute.